Hey guys, real quick look at a MeLE F10-PRO. It's a cool little keyboard slash remote control combo. Sorry, and it actually works pretty well. It is a unusual thing to use, of course, unless you're used to using more of a presentation style mouse. It comes with a user manual that outlines the different functionality of the buttons, and it will give you some operating information and warranty information. I'm not going to go over the remote in very specific detail in this portion because I am trying, or going to try, to attach an image that kind of maps out a little bit better idea of what the keys functions are. So we'll get to that at the end of the video, hopefully. This is your charging cable. It is the same as what you would use for a GoPro, or even an older telephone. So you could actually utilize your GoPro if you have one charging cable. The box is actually really nice. It has the image of the unit on both sides. It has a sticker on this one. I don't know if yours will be that way. And it talks about some of the functionality and features and shows some of the compatibility. And it works with Linux, Android, Mac, different versions of Windows. I mean, it got a pretty good range. Some information about the manufacturer, location and whatnot, address, telephone numbers, and of course your little product tag from the distributor. So it's a nicely laid out little box. And the remote itself, it has a nice weight to it, so it doesn't feel like it's lightweight and like overly cheap like some things that you buy these days. You do have your indicator LED here on the side, as you can see, and it's also a charging or status indicator for charging. Your charging ports here. You have a headphone jack here. You could put a little band on this like a lanyard style and clip it in if you want. Like I said, I'm not going to go over all the details, but here is your keyboard. You do have mouse buttons, a gaming mode function, and on the other side you have your different mouse navigation, enter and mouse clicks. Different buttons here to change for different modes, and you have the ability to make phone calls and hang up like through Skype and things. You do have a microphone and a speaker in this, and it is nice to have the ability to listen to something that you're watching on the TV or Android box or what have you through this, so you're not interrupting someone else in the room if maybe you're doing some night watching some TV at night when your significant other is trying to get a little rest. Maybe the light doesn't bother them, but the sound does. This is a way to cut that out. And of course you have your IR sensor here. It works with 2.4 gigahertz, so you have a pretty good range, both in the IR and on the 2.4 gigahertz. 500 milliamp battery, so it charges up relatively quickly. It should hold a charge for a fairly significant amount of time as far as in remote function, because unless you're playing a game, I suppose you're not really going to be utilizing it non-stop to the point where you're going to wear the battery out quickly. So anyway, it's a really nice device. As it just takes some getting used to with the different functionality, switching between mouse mode and keyboard mode, and the different button functionality as far as the wheel that lets you go up, down, right and left and things, and the select or enter or left click button as opposed to the right and left click here or the right and left click here. But anyway, it works really well. It is a nice device and I'm very pleased with it. I think I'll be using this in place of my larger sized Bluetooth keyboard that I was using. So it's a really nice little unit. And hopefully the image that I plan to attach will help with mapping out these keys. And I think it's fairly self-explanatory. I didn't know what this key was. I labeled it as assistant because that's what someone else said, and it's labeled something different on the Amazon page. But when I pushed it both in Windows and Android, nothing happened. So I don't really know what that key actually will do for me at this point. So it's still a learning process for me as well. Anyway, just a real quick look, okay? Thanks. Hey guys, so putting this into the gaming mode kind of lets you use the remote and you can kind of just rotate it. I don't know of any games that actually work with it, so this is kind of the best example of the way it would work, you know, forward and back. You know. I don't really know of a better way to show you. I just don't know any games. I don't mess with a lot. I don't play games really on the Android platform on tablet or phone. I don't have any games that I play, so I'm not really familiar with any games that would work with the actual G sensor in the MeLE remote. But it kind of gives you an idea of how that would work as far as I guess forward and reverse when you're racing a car or motorcycle or whatever. But really can't do left and right turns, obviously. So anyway, I just wanted to give you an idea of what that looks like. Alright, thanks. Hey guys, I wanted to try to give you a quick idea of how this MeLE F10-PRO remote and keyboard combo works out. It's got a microphone and a speaker built in, which is really nice. The speaker works for viewing at nighttime if you don't want to disturb you know, other people in the house, so that's really nice. And of course the microphone, as you can see on the screen there, is being picked up. My voice is being picked up. This little green bar bouncing, so that's nice. So you could actually do voice commands with this. We'll go ahead and close this out. And as you can see, I'm using the mouse to navigate. Takes a little getting used to, but it works really well. My main use for this will be with a PC, which I'm running Windows 8.1 right now, and pretty much I just plugged it up and it goes. Let's see if I can get this video playing here. Alright, so as you can see, the remote is here. Hold the microphone up. Hopefully you guys will be able to pick that up pretty well. But you have audio coming right through the remote here. Hopefully you can hear that. And then the microphone, of course, is on the bottom. I'm going to try to include a more detailed mapping of all the different keys on both sides. Of course, you have your QWERTY keyboard here on the other side. And this has a game function, so it has a G sensor built in. If you were playing it on an Android box, you would actually be able to utilize this for gaming and, you know, turn it to control your steering and things. So that's a pretty cool feature. There is a headphone jack here on the bottom, and if you plug that in and we push play, you can see now that here are the headphones and the speaker next to those. You should be able to hear the sound through the headphones.
In order to start the vehicle, all you have to do is just take the key, go ahead and turn the vehicle around.
Alright. So let's disconnect that. So yeah, so that's a cool feature, having the microphone and the headphone built in. You will be able to see on the paperwork, sorry. The paperwork that's included will display it, but I've got a little better mapping than the actual paperwork for the keys as far as what I can discern from playing with this and looking up, because I wasn't sure about 100% of all the keys. I had to look up some other information online. But this thing works really well. The keyboard has a really nice feel to it. It's just a little getting used to, of course, when you're switching between keyboard and the mouse mode and all that, and you have your keys that will allow for that. It's pretty obvious. The volume is very easily adjustable. It has a great feel. Range is really good. With a 500 milliamp battery for remote usage, you should have no problems using it for quite some time without having to worry about charging it back and forth. Overall, I mean, it's a really handy remote. I like it better than a standard Bluetooth keyboard. So anyway, I will try to show you some more specifics with the Android as well. Thank you for watching.